sorry. Item number 50, that would be, item number 62, sorry, is, Amazon, have a seat here. Okay, you got an application here to, for a Class A beer license.
Yes, sir.
You just want to sell beer in your gas station.
Yes, sir.
Where are you gonna put it? It's a small station. I've been in there a number of times. It's small.
I'm planning to have some coolers in the side wall inside the store.
Oh, of course it's in the store. Okay. Is anybody else?
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
Maybe the clerk can, I can't remember. When we raised the Class A quota, was that was the combination A's for beer, wine, and liquor, or is this under that raised quota number? Does anybody remember?
That was before my time.
That was before your time.
Yeah.
Because I remember that we talked about changing the quota on Class A's, and in my head it's the full liquor combination. It was for purposes of encouraging development, and I don't think I see any. I mean, he's just going to take a cooler you're selling soda with and start selling beer out of it, right?
No,
Or you're
no.
going to put a new,
New coolers.
okay, new coolers.
Yeah.
$2,000 worth of coolers.
No, I talked to the suppliers,
Yeah.
and they took a measurement. They told me about between $10,000 and $15,000.
Okay. And any new employees?
Yeah, we have to have one part-time extra.
So you're going to hire one extra part-time guy,
Yes.
but not like a major remodeling of the store or anything.
Well, let's beyond not this subject, but there is different subject that we, you know, this. I mean, if you know the store is look like old one, so I applied to the. We want to do the remodeling to the store, and Steve Shea knows about that, and we are doing.
So you're working on a major redevelopment
Yeah,
of the whole building.
yes.
You know, so and I guess I don't know if I don't think in the past we've ever tied these to. I know in the past we have generally not done any any alcohol sales internally in gas stations at the same address, and that's always been kind of our policy. If I understand, am I remembering correctly? You know, and
Well, it's an unwritten policy.
yes, yeah.
How many Class A beer licenses do we have available?
If you allow me to run to my office really quick, I can find that out.
Could you do it, please? I don't know how many we want. See, but I disagree with you, Alderman Weigel, from the standpoint, yes, we want a development and everything, but, you know, it's one of those things is where all we want is the big guy, we don't want to help out the little guy.
No.
You know, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I don't want it to be, that if you're a big guy with a lot of money, you can come in, but, you know, the little guy gets stomped on, so I
If I may say something.
sure, go ahead.
I'm running this station since 2001 when 9/11 happened the same year. Almost 17, 18 years now. I never seen any. See, when this station and when go to Lincoln Avenue, somebody want to put the gas, and my main business was people was putting gas and going back to Lincoln West and go
Oh,
to
right.
894.
They eliminated that.
Now during the construction period, even though when hearing happened, I was the only one that no, I don't want to take away that meeting, but still they took it away. But anyway, that's not, I mean, not your problem.
Right.
What I'm telling you, by doing that, my business went in half because people, even though
It's tougher to get out of your store back onto the freeway.
No, it's tough to get in the store. You used to be
Oh.
able to get in and out of there. And
okay,
they eliminated that, so
Yeah.
now
So-
people look at it and say, well, I'll just go to the next one.
yeah, and then I went to the Steve Share's office. They told me to get some ideas that put a sign there that go to, if you want to go Lincoln West, make a right turn and go to 92nd Street and make a right. I mean, but who will do that? So, and now my mortgage is still the same, my taxes is still the same. So that's why I was hoping to get this license so I can at least, I mean, it's not going to be make up all the losses, but at least whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm in this since 2001, and every time when police do the for the
Compliance checks.
checks, I will. I was not aware that I can bring those letters. I have a bunch of letters getting from police station. Thank you very much for not selling the
Right.
cigarette.
Cigarette.
And you can check my record of 2001. I
You've never been here.
Yeah.
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 Which is a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
never been
No,
there.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So, if we, so I'm not going to be that kind of person that don't take care of the things.
Right. Okay.
So, according to our quota, we have a Class A liquor and fermented malt beverage quota, which is at 29. The quota's 30, and we currently have 28. 26 plus 2, so that must mean 26 combos and 2 just beer. So 28 total. So we have 2 available.
Okay. So it is available. We're not going over quota.
But, Mr. Chair,
Alden Weigel.
we're still at, and I know in previous committees, we went through this with a location on Greenfield Avenue. There was actually a restaurant, and we gave them a license only because it was a restaurant, and they had a separate address and a separate entry. And I know there are other members of the council that would want to weigh on this. I'm open. Honestly, I think, I just came back from Utah, Provo, Brigham Young University. They sell beer in Provo, Utah, where everything's closed on Sundays. They sell beer in the gas stations in Provo, Utah. So I don't have a problem with that. But I think at least one other member of the council might want to weigh in on this. So,
Well, they'll have an opportunity. So.
yeah.
Does anybody else have
Mr.
anything?
Chair, is there,
Alden Rowe.
where does the separate entrance come in, or does that not come into play on
We're not
this?
going to do that here.
Oh, okay. Just the one entrance.
Yeah.
I have 2 doors.
Yes, 2 doors. In
Two
and
doors
out.
to the store,
Yeah.
in and out, but there's no separate wall or anything.
No, it's going to be like when you go to Brookfield or Elm Grove or City of Milwaukee, everywhere where there's cooler. This one's got milk and water and energy drink, and this one has beer in it.
But you've applied before for a license here.
No, sir. This is the first time.
Wasn't there with the tax accounting office, you wanted to put something in?
That was when I was planning to put a car wash there. That not
Right, but you were going for liquor.
No, it was for the car wash. That I talked to the. I did not officially apply it. I talked to the planning department that how about if I do a car wash. They told me because car wash is not zone, that address zoning is not allowing the car wash, because car wash zoning is anything after 894 bridge, and yours is before 894 bridge. So I just backed out. I did not officially. I didn't apply already.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I recall the same conversation we had when we raised the quota and when we discussed the idea of introducing him more to grocery stores and requiring special use permits to be opening up the special use permit again when when a liquor license like this is given away. And I wonder if this would trigger the special use being looked at again.
Yeah, I have a special use
Yes,
permit, and then I talked to the planning, and they said your special use permit is okay as long as the license committee approved that.
Okay. Well, sometimes I think it requires it to go
I
back
have a
and looked at
special-
again.
Yes.
though, I think is what it requires. I also want to point out that during that time we had discussed that we wouldn't allow them in gas stations, I believe, unless there was a bigger convenience store aspect to the gas station. That's my recollection anyway, because our feeling at the time was if we're just going to have these in the gas stations all over the city, and again, I'm not absolutely opposed to that. I just want to make sure everyone understands the idea that we will be allowing these in all gas stations, then not just those that have a large convenience store with a gas station attached, kind of a thing.
Sir,
So just to get my point across again, the large convenience store comes in and crushes the little guy, and the little guy doesn't. We're not giving it any ammunition to fight back, and that's why I disagree with that type of mentality.
And I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm saying
Right.
I think we should be cognizant that that's what we would be doing.
Right.
sir, that
Just a second. Did you
No, I
have
don't-
you have anything? Okay, go ahead.
So you can see all over. You go New Berlin or Greenfield, wherever you go, big quick trip with big packets is coming all over the town. The Myers coming all over the town. So those big quick trip and they are killing us anyway. So if I think that's not fair with us either. That if bigger company, bigger with quick trip and those kind of people can get whatever they want, and we cannot fight with them with anything.
Right. And the thing about it is that, obviously, when alcohol, we're gonna have compliance checks on the
Yes,
alcohol
and-
coming there, and you're gonna have to watch everybody and card everybody, same way you do like with cigarettes.
Yes, and in New Berlin
so-
location, I know I don't have anywhere I sold it, but I had a location in New Berlin, and I had a beer there for almost 3 years, and in our register we have that when they scan, we have a scanning, so when they scan a beer, it will automatically pop up on the register, put the date of birth. So, and I never, just like in Western, I never had a ticket of anything, same thing, I never had any ticket in New Berlin either.
One more question.
Oh, man.
Do you know what your zoning is currently? What the property is zoned? Does anyone here know what the property is zoned?
There's a zoning map there. I mean,
I'm not sure how old that
Yeah,
map
might
Read
be
it from
current.
here.
2014. Yeah, that's not.
There's a gas station zoning, I don't know about the.
Yeah. Again, I'm not opposed to the idea of
Okay,
the
do
gas
I-
stations. I just want everyone to understand it. We'll
Yeah.
open it up.
So,
Do I have a motion? No one has a motion?
I'll move for denial.
Second.
Based on?
Yeah, based on the discussion here that this would be opening up gas stations to beer sales, and that is something that we haven't done in the past. And I don't believe it's something as a matter of public policy that we want to do as a community.
Okay. But we have done it. We have done it when we voted to give the restaurant that's attached to a gas station, I think it's like 106th and Greenfield, we gave them a liquor license that if that restaurant is to close down, the owner of that station can take over that license. Obviously, he's got to come in front of us, but he could take over that license. It's already in the gas station. So,
that was a restaurant.
but still is a restaurant. But I'm saying, when we voted in favor of that, we were already opening the door that we potentially could have a license in a gas station. So I disagree with.
But there's a
so-
quota, right? So if
And-
somebody comes,
Sir, you have to be quiet.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
okay.
you
This
gotta
is our
ask. You gotta ask
discussion.
it.
oh,
So,
I'm sorry.
all the way.
So, we raised the quota with the idea that we were getting some major developments with grocery store, specialty food store, specialty wine store, and if we give this gentleman a liquor license, a beer license, then any number of other gas stations would come and apply, and we'd be right back at quota again. And if we wanted to, and we had always said that we want developers to have the, if somebody's coming in building a $30 million project, that we want them to have the assurance that they could have the specialty grocery store with the combination A, and we'd end up having to raise the quota again.
Not necessarily, because we could vote over
Over
quota.
quota.
And if other people wanted to come in, and as long as we had the license, other people wanted to come in, I don't have a problem with that either. Because, I think we're at a time now, and we're going, by limiting him from selling alcohol, we're saving somebody? I mean, they're not going to go 3 blocks away and buy alcohol someplace else. It's everywhere now. I don't think it's the same as it was years ago. And I just think that what we're doing by taking the attitude of only the big guys is we're punishing all the little stores and the mom and pops, and I'm totally against that.
Mr. Chair,
All on me.
would there be any value to just holding until some of the other older people could be in there? This is basically a policy change that we would be doing. I know it seems just for the one user, but it becomes a policy change. and I think the other older people are going to want to weigh in. Would there be any benefit to just tabling this to the end of our license and health meeting?
Are they gonna have time to come in here? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
But let me ask you this.
So we can debate it on the council floor also.
We could. Sir, would you be okay with us, first of all, if we held this until the end of this meeting?
or 2 weeks,
And,
Wow.
and my next question was going to be, and
or whatever.
if we needed to, would waiting till the 7th of August, would that put you in a bind?
That's fine. What I mean, I'm what asking you all the reason that I gave it to you and because of the big companies. But if you want to do after a couple of weeks, I cannot say no. It's better than deny. Wait a couple of weeks, and I hope you have some change of mind and you can understand our situation also, sir. Because big companies are all over, and there's nothing unique. I mean, West Allis. I don't sell it, people can go to the next door or something. It's all over, and it's not like I'm selling hard liquor or anything. I'm just asking for the beer, not the hard liquor or anything. Just the beer I'm asking. But if you want to hold it,
Is it okay if we just wait till maybe the end of this meeting? Just see if the other committee comes out? I'm torn. On the one hand, I know there are certain users that want to come in. I think this would be, I'm personally fine with it in gas stations. But it is a policy change.
Well, Mr. Chair,
Alderman Weigel?
I'm thinking that we have 2 aldermen not even here in the building tonight also, that might want to weigh in on it also. And this, I see this as a policy change also. So I don't think waiting today. It's not that his business is open and operating already. Okay? He's not delaying, he might be delaying the purchase of some equipment until he gets the yes from us on this. But the price of the equipment's not gonna skyrocket in 3 weeks, you know? I'd rather we waited till I'm pretty sure all 10 of us are gonna be here at that August 7th meeting. Am I understand that correctly? I mean, there were some other policy issues we were talking about.
I'll be here.
I plan on it.
How are you feeling?
How you feeling?
Okay.
We can't guarantee it.
I see this as a policy change, and I'd like to have every member of the council. I'm gonna vote it. You know, but I want everybody to be heard. I certainly like to talk to the other aldermen of the 2nd district about it. I know we have not had an in-depth conversation on the topic. And I see this as a policy change that's gonna affect, it's something we've done in this city for a long, long time. I'm prepared to change, but I think,
So are you gonna take back your motion and take back your second?
I'll take back my motion.
And I'll take back my second if I have to.
Okay, we're just gonna hold it until August 7th.
no problem. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, Lena Stiff?
and what number is this?
This is number 60.
What number?
60.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, currently this bar has no license, correct?
No.
I'm not correct, or it doesn't have a
Oh, it
license?
doesn't have a license.
Okay. Yeah, because what happened is that the person there moved the license,
Mhm.
and the person that owned the building didn't care. And so, it's a very small place. It definitely abuts the residential.
Mhm.
I mean, right there is residential. And we've had problems, not tremendous problems, but some problems in that place in the past. Was there something missing from here? Do you know, or is it, we're talking about a different one?
Well, there's
This is the.
the responsible beverage service score, the typical stuff that we require upon issuing, or before issuing rather than granting. So the responsible beverage service course, we haven't had the background checks yet. I
Okay.
believe the business tax registration
Okay, we have the EIN.
and the
Mhm.
federal employer identity.
We applied for one of those, and I did get it, like I screenshot it off the computer,
Okay.
but we didn't get the paper for it yet.
Yep.
Okay, I don't have that.
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Alderman
I received an email this morning from a resident, I'm assuming it's a resident, someone near this address. It said the meeting tonight for the bar at 6404 West National under Lena Stiff is supposed to be Brandon Winters.
Yes.
I'm
That's
just
you?
acting as agent, yes.
Okay.
You're the owner?
Yes.
They have some claims in here I don't want to read publicly. I don't want to embarrass anybody. It says, but it's public record. You're more than welcome to take a look at this yourself. He also held a party over the weekend on July 13th at this location where underage drinking was involved as well as drugs. It wasn't supposed to be running.
Well,
Now that's an allegation.
I
It's
didn't have
not-
a party. I was there earlier, and we tested speakers, and then I left because I had to be out of town.
Okay.
So I barely be there. I go paint, and I leave, and I have other stuff like I have 7 kids, so I don't have time to be there all day. So I'll go paint or whatever, and I'm in and I.
Okay. And again, this is an allegation. I don't know if it's true, but Mr. Chair, it sounds like there's some missing information as well.
Yeah, there's misinformation, and we tried to contact this person, we weren't able to contact this person today. So,
Would this be another one that we'd want to
Hold.
hold?
you know, yeah, we'd want to hold it to check everything out and make sure everything's proper.
I mean, we could still
Before
talk
we
about
do it.
operations and stuff now, I guess, but we don't have to.
Right, Deb?
We should probably hold it, I think.
Yes,
Uh,
I agree.
Mr.
Alderman
Chair.
Weigel.
So are we having the conversations now, or?
I think we should, but then hold it eventually. in case
Okay.
we have-
So,
You're the chair, I'm sorry.
experience in the business?
Well, I don't have experience in a bar, but I own a barber shop.
Okay,
So this is like a first for me.
okay, so,
The bar.
so neither of you bartended anywhere before?
No, not bartending.
Okay.
Like,
No experience
I,
in the bar business?
I have friends in the bar business, and they tell me like.
Well, we all have friends in the
information.
bar business.
Yeah.
Most of them are not very useful.
Well, I have friends like or uncle that own it, so I know just small information from them that I'm learning.
Okay, so, and you're gonna own the business, but you're gonna be the agent.
Yes.
And so why aren't you gonna be the agent?
I thought because they said I had to have an appointed
separate
agent,
person,
a separate
yeah.
person.
You know,
That's what I thought it was told.
They said
I'm
he
the
can be
agent for my business.
They said he can be the manager, not the agent. That's what I
Who,
was.
who said that?
I came up here to, I think over there to like give her all my papers, and she said he had to appoint someone to be an agent that wasn't himself. Like he can act as a manager, but not agent.
The conversation was, I don't know. It was not me.
Yeah. I mean, is there a criminal background issue?
No.
No. Because sometimes that's what happens.
Oh no, just
So, do you understand as the agent, you're gonna be held responsible for what happens there? I mean, do you have a full-time job too, or is this gonna be it?
This would be it.
This is gonna be it. I don't remember the addresses. I was trying to pull it up.
6404.
I understand the address for the application, but where do you live?
1351.
like a
South
block away
76th.
from.
Okay, right around the
Right
corner.
across the street.
Okay, okay.
Just diagonal.
Yeah. And you're renting there also?
Yes.
Okay, but again, and you're just renting this space?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna guess you're responsible for the build out in it, you said you're painting it and all that, it's getting
Yes.
painted maybe carpet or whatever, and,
Well, not carpet.
Yeah.
It's everything's already set up. I just painted a different color, like a more,
Okay.
calmer color.
and are you familiar with all the laws about serving alcohol?
Well, you're familiar with most of them. Yes.
Like, you can't go to the liquor store and buy liquor.
Yes, yeah, I
Okay,
know
you have
that, I
to,
know that.
only from licensed wholesalers.
Yes.
Okay, and there's always gotta be a licensed bartender on the premises.
Yes.
And not only on the premises, but whoever's serving drinks either has to have a license or be under the direct supervision.
Yes.
So, you can't have a license and be in the basement with the bartender upstairs.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, okay. There'll be times when the police will send in somebody doing a compliance check, and I can't imagine you're gonna have a lot of employees.
No.
No, it's because it's a real small.
Yeah.
I think capacity is like 37.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just, yeah, but, and we also expect our bartenders and agents and owners to be partners with the police when there's a problem.
Yes. Okay.
So when, if you think you need to call 911, pick up the phone and call 911.
Okay.
We have trained police officers who will come help you take care of your problems, trust me.
Okay.
They'll be more than happy to. But, because that's what we're trying to do, is trying to clean up
Yes.
make the city a nice place for everybody to live. So, we want you to do well, but we want it to go well for the city too.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, and my policy is always that you have to live with the people around you. They don't have to live with you.
Right.
So if if it's loud and there's a lot of problems outside, people smoking outside, keeping the entire neighborhood up and everything, that's coming down on you.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to hold this until what, August 7th, and if you could check on and then check into that, where he thought that he needs an agent and everything.
Yeah, well,
If you check on that, and I don't know if you can contact them on that, or you can contact him. But we're going to hold this until August 7th.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay?
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Number 61?
And again, we're at number 61 now. Agent.
Lee Kwang Bu?
Oh, here's. I haven't seen this. There's one here, Quang.
That's why the business card was photocopied on the application, because you're the translator? No,
No, I'm the attorney,
you're
but
attorney.
Chow Vo here is an owner, and he's also going to be he's also going to translate. This is Lee Kwan Vu is here. He's the agent,
Okay.
and Mr. Chow here is an owner, but he will also translate.
Okay. So you're one. If there's more than one owner,
Yes.
okay. They'll concentrate on agent. Okay. Now this is another place that used to have a liquor license in. They moved it, and the landlord didn't care.
Yeah.
So now they want another one. This is a Class B. Okay. Have you been working there a long time? Have you ever served alcohol? Do you know the rules and regulations about serving alcohol? Or
Yes.
Yes, I think they have quite a bit of experience in that, but
Margarita Paradise.
yeah. Okay.
yeah, which they weren't affiliated
No,
with
no,
any
no, I
previous
understand that. I'm just,
business, yeah.
it's
People can relate,
Wisconsin
though.
GPS. You
Okay.
name the nearest bar,
Understandable.
or what it was previously.
Yeah. So you've been open for a while now, right?
No,
Have
they
you been
haven't.
open? This is somebody new.
We just
Got the right one? Oh no no. Okay.
10534.
I'm thinking a different one.
Mr. Chair.
Only me.
This is located in the third district, which I
Okay.
represent, and I think the neighbors are really excited to see the restaurant open. Do you have an anticipated date? I haven't seen much action over there. It's a couple dumpsters.
actually we currently working on the plumbing. We work with the architect.
Yeah.
Our Greenfield
All
Avenue,
the
yeah.
plans and all stuff finally been approved
That was confusing.
approval, like I think maybe a month and a half ago.
Okay.
And then of course the plumbing and basically this building require a major renovation,
work,
I guess.
Yes.
So I mean, with all this stuff, because originally, I guess there's sections or partitions now that we want to put everything together, and so that's why we have the architect design in a way that everything's gonna be at one unit, and with that being said, a lot of things that's gonna be changed, like the plumbing, the
Right, so-
HVAC, and
Yes.
everything. So.
Okay.
And Mr.
Good.
If I could, my reason for asking is usually when we approve these types of licenses, the business has to be open and running within 30 days. But we can waive that if we have an idea of a date that you'll be open. So I was wondering if we could put some, if we
We
approve this,
anticipated
what would the date be?
probably, if everything going well, it's going to be like probably end of September.
Okay.
They've been working with the building division through everything, so it's just a matter of when it gets done, and I think they've got everything approved with them. But they've
Right.
been in this process for quite a while already.
I don't apologize. I was thinking of a different place. I thought it was a different place.
Not
On
Margarita
National
Paradise.
Avenue.
This is the
Yeah.
old Sammy's.
Yeah.
Sammy's Red Hot.
Sammy's,
Yes.
yes.
We're folks at home.
Have you purchased the property?
Yes.
Oh, good. You're just sticking all that money in there. You're probably
Well, yeah,
good thing
they-
that you have. So,
Mr. Chair, I'll
Okay.
move approval. Would we
Perfect.
want to put a date on there for them to be open? You're going to open in September, maybe give it to
Yeah,
October 1st?
And October 1st.
October 15th.
October
Yeah,
15th.
Yeah.
I think we'll add that as a condition.
Yeah,
It'll be open by October 15th. And if not, then come to us. Let us know ahead of time that you need some time. But
Yeah, because you said if everything goes right.
Well,
Don't
you
expect
know, I'm not the,
Yeah.
the builder, so I don't know what could come up, you know. Especially like say if the building inspector or the inspector, you know, certain thing they're not happy or you know they see that can be improved, they could reject and then we have to fix it. You know, I mean that just take time.
Okay, so you're making a motion, subject to necessary requirements, and one of the necessary requirements is that it's open by the 15th.
or that they come back. If not by the 15th, they
Right.
come back to us and explain why.
Second.
Okay, further discussion. I just have one question. You're going to be the
Agent.
agent, and you have to. I mean, you're the one that's got to watch your bartenders, and is there going to be a bar in there, or just going to be a restaurant?
It's a restaurant, and we're gonna serve, you know, alcohol
Yeah, to
beverages,
the-
just to
Table
to
service?
the
Table
table, yeah.
service, yes.
So, but you're going to have to be in charge of, and so as long as he understands everything,
Yes.
you know, and that's, you know, the rules and regulations is the only thing I'd be concerned about.
We,
So,
I mean, he has the alcohol. He took the course to serve, and
Okay.
you know, so he knows the rules, and I'm aware of that. I'm eventually going to do the same. I had it before, but that was just a long time. Just went around,
Right.
you know.
They're gonna have multiple bartenders.
Right.
They're gonna get a bunch of people licensed.
Licensed,
I'm already
so somebody's
working with them,
always-
so
So,
there's
yeah,
gonna be
so-
overabundance.
Right. So everybody will know that you know what to do versus just.
okay.
Mr. Chair?
Alden Weigel?
Has this already gone through Plan Commission and Site and Landscape? Has it all been approved?
Everything
We approved
is-
it a couple months
Yeah,
ago.
I thought it had, but it sounds like you're doing maybe more work than you first anticipated. But that's all on the inside, and the Site and Landscape was really just about all the outside stuff.
Yes.
Okay. So any further discussion? And all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
Good luck very much.
Thank you.
Can't wait.
Okay, so, I'm gonna go back. Okay, we got item number 48. This is a request by St. Rita's to waive the security
Move
bond.
approval.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. We have items 49. Is
Mr. Chair.
Second.
there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, then we have item number 51, which is, we had compliance checks on 11 places, and all 11 requested
Move to place on file.
identification.
Second.
Just a second, I'm not done yet. And then we have the
52?
52, which was 24 places, and no violations in that compliance check for alcohol.
Hooray.
Hey.
So,
Move approval of both, or move to place on file.
place
both.
and file.
Second.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, we have items number 53, 54, 55, 56,
You weren't
and
gonna call 50,
57.
you weren't gonna call 54 in? That was a weird police report, I thought.
No, I wasn't gonna call him. It was a weird police report, but, so, pardon me? Do you want to call him?
Yeah, I thought the way it was described, I mean, it was a citizen, I think, complaint is what.
Right, with the stuff in the bathroom.
Yeah, we
Right.
walked in the bar, nobody was there. I mean, I guess I'd like to hear from the agent on that.
Okay, so we will hold 54. So we're talking 53, 55, 56, 57, all those.
Move to place on file.
Second.
Okay. We've made a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. I gotta give me a minute.
Oh.
I wasn't asking. Request there. Okay, then we. It's going too far. One second. Oh, I missed it. Okay, all in favor? Oh, he's left. All right, okay.
We're waiting.
We're there. That's right, we did that already. Okay, number 59. This is for 1819 Class B Tavern license for Antigua
approval.
Restaurant.
Second.
And, Mr. Chair,
All in favor?
I assume this is the one that's going to be then transferred over to the National Avenue location? Is that what's going on eventually? Yeah.
Is there any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We're going to hold items number 62, 60 and 62 and 50 and 58, because we're going to be calling in 58. Okay, so
No, 58 was the compliance check. No, China's. Oh, okay.
okay.
Mr. Chair, which one are we calling in?
Yeah.
Because I think we were just talking about number 54.
No, yeah, we're going to call in 54.
That's on the 58.
Two of them were calling in.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Motion to adjourn, license and
So
health?
moved.
Second. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion's carried.
All right, and the Administration and Finance Committee will come to order. All 5 members are present, starting with item number 11, a resolution relative to accepting a proposal of Asset Works furnishing hardware, software, maintenance, implementation, Asset Works Enterprise Management for a 6-year total sum not to exceed $750,000.
Move approval.
Motion from Alderman Weigel
Second.
and a second from Alderman May. Is there any discussion?
Got one quick question.
Fire away.
What fund is that coming out of?
It's
General?
various funds, I believe, partially.
Capital funds for the 200 that's already been budgeted, all of the rest will be budgeted over the next 5 years.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, and just following up on what Peggy said, I'm saying the same thing. Looking at it here, 2017 capital budget of $150,000. Start over. 2017 capital budget $150,000 and an extra allocation in the 2017 and 2018 carryover process of $50,000 and another $550,000 is being requested through 2019 to 2023 capital improvement program process. Is that the same thing you just said, Peggy? Thank you. All right. All right. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And item 12, resolution relative to accepting a proposal of CDWG delivering 56 Microsoft Windows Server data centers for $42,840.24.
Move approval.
Second.
A motion from Alderman May, second from Alderman Weigel. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 13, resolution authorizing retention of outside legal counsel.
Move approval.
A motion from Alderman May.
Second.
Second from Alderman Rote. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 14, resolution approving rescission and refund of property taxes.
Move approval.
A motion from Alderman Weigel. Is there a second?
A reluctant second.
Yeah.
Palpable second?
Palpable.
Yeah. We have a motion and a second. Yeah, I think that in reviewing each of these individual cases, there are good reasons for no longer collecting the property taxes, and so all right. Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 15 is a communication from the city assessor providing the 2018 assessor's office report. Yeah. Jason, can you come on up, please? I do have a question for you. Did you want to explain it to begin with? Otherwise, I do have one. Oh, you're even on top of it with a.
Oh, that's
handout.
the PowerPoint.
Okay.
It's a hard copy. No.
All right. Did you want to start with anything or point
Ask
out
me a
anything?
question?
All right. Yeah. My concern, and I was wondering, personal property, as I read this, went down 38.01%.
Yeah.
Seems like a big drop. What happened?
So what happened was Act 59 at the state level was passed. And what Act 59 did is it made Schedule C, which is machinery, tools, and equipment, exempt. So in this community, that was roughly $37 million worth of assets that became exempt. The real kicker was that when that legislation was written, they put a definition of machinery in there that a ballpoint pen would meet the definition. It was something that applies force against an object that creates motion, something to those
Cash
effects.
register.
Cash register. So what that did is back in January, that created a lot of consternation amongst assessors. What's a machine? Because we had people coming to us saying, well, my freezer's a machine. It's a machine that applies force. There's a motor in it. So after a lot of going back and forth, the consensus was that definition was put there on purpose to be broad, to be general, and to capture as much personal property assets that could be captured. So in addition to that 37 million of the traditional Schedule C, we also saw about $8 million from other schedules get placed on exempt rosters because they met that definition. So the question is who wants to challenge directives from a new law, an act, and a definition that comes down? So if you were to go to a judge and try to convince the judge that something wasn't a machine, because you don't really think of it as a machine, but if it met the definition, you weren't going to really go anywhere because it met the definition of the law. So as I understand it, when they announced that they were going to exempt Schedule C, there was a payment from the state that was going to be based on that amount. But now we're seeing more of that being exempted, so there's going to be a discrepancy between that payment and in relation to what was actually moved over.
Is that a one-time payment or going to be an annual payment?
And
Is it going to go up or
As
is it just?
budgeted.
As long as it's budgeted,
we don't
right?
even know what the amount is going to be yet.
This is everyone statewide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was well, it came down the way it came
I thought
down.
you had bad news at the earlier meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mr. Chair,
Hey, go ahead, Alderman May.
I was going to say, I think what you mean to say is the state of Wisconsin has again found another way to erode the tax base of the local municipalities in a way that will force the rest of us property tax paying individuals to have to pay more.
Or us just to borrow more and put it on the credit card.
It's absolutely astounding that a government that says, and a party that believes, and I don't always mean to be this about party, it really is about the government in control, is what they're saying is that we agree with local control, we should have more local control, but they continuously take it away from us, and we're putting it on the back of our residents. Thanks for letting me say my piece.
a lot of people are convinced that this is just part of a greater effort to kill personal property altogether. So when you look at the balance of what's left, you're really looking at Schedule D, which is furniture, fixtures, and office equipment. So old used furniture.
And computers don't count already.
And computers, that was the other part of Act 10, is that exempt computers were no longer to be reported. So even though they were exempt, you see this big 0 and 100% decline. So again, going back to that shift in the tax burden, you know, here's an example of one of those things that add to the complexity of the greater picture. So I would not be surprised if something came down next year that the rest of the personal property is exempt or just gone. Maybe it takes until the next biennial budget. Maybe it comes up then. But that's what we're seeing. So along those lines, that was the main crux of what I was going to present is those major changes. But I also wanted to talk about the change in values. As you can see, that overall the city saw an increase in real estate value of 8.1 million. 13 million of that was from the TIDs, so we saw a lot of growth in that area. But there was a decline of almost 5 million in non-TID real estate, and that's primarily due to taking a look at the residential condominiums. So in the city of West Allis, we have 420 condos, and their assessment ratios range from 117 to 154%. Grossly overassessed, out of compliance with state law, and simply put, not fair to the condo owners. So that was priority number one for me, to go after that and to fix that problem. So after doing the analysis and applying the proper techniques, I was able to bring that into 103% assessment ratio, which for assessors is really exciting, so yeah. So that's good, that's within compliance, that now we're talking about a more equitable and fair distribution of that tax burden to the condo owners. So that's one of the things I wanted to bring up. I think the balance of what I gave you is just an update on how the numbers have changed, and you can see where they've moved. But I also wanted to give you an update. We had this reorganization in the department. We went from full in-house staff to this hybrid approach. We have a city assessor, an admin, and contracted personnel. And we brought on a new admin in January. She's now a full-fledged employee. She passed her probation, and she's on board. As far as the contract personnel that's in there, I've had some mixed reviews with how they're working out. On the one hand, they come in, they get the work done, and they move on. So what that has shown me is that the previous staffing level of 6 people was too much. We can get this work done with probably 4 people, and that was the estimate that I was thinking before we went into this. So that sort of fleshed itself out. But what has really been apparent to me is that coming in and getting the work done and moving on, you miss out on that personal customer service, that knowledge of the local community, that knowledge of the real estate that's in this community. And I think that's one of the things that we're losing with these contractors. So I think going forward, as we work our way through this reval and we work our way through getting things righted, get the ship righted, I'm going to be talking about this with Rebecca tomorrow, so that's on the horizon. I think there's benefit in having people who live here, work here, and understand the community. Just to get, to end it with really exciting stuff, the statistical measures that I talked about last year, and I won't go into all the nitty-gritty details, but they're improving, so slightly improving. So when I was talking about coefficient of dispersion and coefficient of concentration, those are measures to see how those numbers look, and there's standards that we follow to make sure that they're right, and they are improving. So I'm more than happy to go into painful detail, but so as part of my performance evaluation, the measurement was making sure that those numbers are improving, and they are. So any questions or?
Yeah, Alderman May.
One quick question. To summarize what you had there, less of a statement, more of a question this time. Is the denominator going up or down in this calculation of the mill rate? Is the assessed value?
The assessed value has gone up, or the total assessed value for the city for real estate's gone up.
Good.
By the 8.1 million.
But personal property is going down more than that.
Yeah.
So the net effect.
So the net denominator is.
Okay.
So basically, we can expect a bill rate. or a cut in service.
Depends on what that state replacement payment is, but that's very plausible.
And this doesn't include manufacturing numbers. Those will come out later this year, so we'll have a more accurate picture then as well.
So no matter how hard we try. All right, let's let it go. True.
Any further discussion or questions for Jason? Have a motion to place on file?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. And then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
I want to thank Jason for his hard work on all this issue.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Jason. Item 16, communication from Mayor Devine regarding the appointment of Cheryl Kuhari as interim city attorney.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Chaplesky and a second from Alderman Weigel. I'm in favor of this, of course. My question, Cheryl, is that going to be full-time or part-time, or how's that going to be working?
Full-time.
Full, you are
But
full.
I have been for about 10 years. Or
Yeah.
At least.
So I shouldn't ask that question then. I'm just going to pretend
I'll keep it at that.
She's more than
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Cheryl. I was confused. Thank you for clarifying it for me.
Are you seeing her somewhere else? You got a side job?
10 years. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you. Item 17 is a communication from the city administrator requesting approval of to fill the vacant position of accountant and
Move
accountant.
approval.
Thank you.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And 18, communication from city
Move for
administrator.
approval.
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Item 19, report from the finance director, comptroller.
Move to place on file.
Thank you. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alderman May. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And item 20 is, can I have a motion to deny that, please? From
So
the
moved.
city attorney's report. Motion from Alderman May to deny. Is there a second? Somebody second. Thank you, Alderman Rote, for paying attention.
I'm paying attention.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Oh, go ahead, Alderman.
I read these, and I understand that it's our policy, but I guess I don't. I mean, we had one in the downtown last spring too. That when is it our responsibility?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and
And I get this.
The
I
interim
get this. It's our
city
policy
attorney.
all the time of not paying these, but
Well, I think Nick pointed out in the report that there apparently were issues with water prior to and after, even when it was fixed, that there were issues with the basement and water, that it wasn't strictly caused by what. And the law is that if we have noticed that there's something going on there, or if there was a issue and this just didn't fit the.
and I guess maybe I think we might want to instruct staff. And these are typically engineering or public works people, not to make any proclamations on site. Because I read this report and it seems to me like he was told by our guys it was our fault, and now we're telling him we're not paying him. You know, so maybe there's something else there we could do. Because
Or educate them on the.
Yeah.
The law is written.
Yeah.
and
You know
our
what? Show up, fix the problem, evaluate the problem, take a look at it,
Make no judgments.
make no judgments. Don't make the call. It's not your job to make the call. Yeah. So.
Mr. Chairman.
Alderman Shkleski.
So they can appeal this up higher, or if they want?
Well, what's the appeal process? Circuit court?
Yeah, they have to be denied by us before they can get to circuit court. That's their step one to get to
Right.
circuit court. They can still sue the city. Sure.
And this is, we've denied these in the past.
We do. That's what we do.
You know, and I think there was one in the downtown. I think there was one even before that was denied before that. So I agree with Alderman Weigel. I read the thing and it sounds like, you know, it's the fault of us, but
I didn't say that. Careful what you
Sound
say.
exactly. Well,
I'm just
but
wondering
I'm
when we
saying,
pay.
yeah, it looked at, so, okay.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to deny. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And that's all. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Nope.
Nope. Reconsideration.
Oh,
Items.
they're doing that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, yes, Alderman Chapletsky.
okay, like I said, the reason I asked for reconsideration is we were presented with the logo at a meeting, quick 5 minutes, and then we had the facilities report, which definitely surprised us, I think. And then we were to vote on it that night. Now, I, for one, was of the attitude, I didn't care, we have more important things to go on. Logo's not that important and everything. But since then, I've been in talking with people and getting phone calls, people not happy with the logo. Now, I realize this has to do with the money, but seeing that we voted on the logo, then we had a special meeting, we did not reconsider it at that meeting. So what I thought we would do, if this committee wants to, is vote in favor of this with the amendment that we reconsider the logo and send it back to the advisory committee. So that was my idea. Now, talked to Alderman Lysick today, and he brought up a valid point. How many people are going to, any logo that comes up with, how many people are going to be in favor of and opposed to it? The only thing about it is I found no one yet that really says, I like it. So, and considering that we saw it in, 5 minutes, and then we had to make a decision at the end of the night.
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel.
I think we're obviously we're getting more than just a logo out of this. Okay, we hired this firm just like we have our city's attorney's office to give us advice on matters that are beyond my pay grade. We went through a process, hired a firm that are, I don't think anybody said experts in the field, but they are certainly good at what they do. They have been consistently doing well in the market. I have millennial children. I don't understand them. Can't pretend I know how to market to the next generation. But I'm willing to. You know what? Yeah, right. Am I all warm and fuzzy about the logo? But we're getting much more than just that. And you know what? It may morph. I mean, you look. Have you ever seen how the NBC peacock has changed over? Do they still use the peacock? I don't know. But yeah, every logo changes over a period of time. Now we're doing a sea change. We're doing a sea change from our previous city at the center. We're getting rid of that. We're kind of keeping the idea holistically, apparently, but we're not going to use those words. But yeah, it's a different logo. But I have no problem supporting the decision that we've made previously, and I'll be voting in support of that.
Yeah, and I'm with Alderman Weigel. We need to leave this to the professionals. Too many cooks spoil the stew or the broth, whatever that is. I don't know, whatever you happen to be making.
Well, he's telling camp or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Right. The examples of what are bad logos are ones that come from us politicians all putting our 2 cents worth into it, then it becomes a compromise logo of this piece from this politician, that piece from that politician, and that's just not the model that we should follow. We should rely on the professionals who we've paid and use the taxpayer money to provide us the guidance that they're giving. And Mayor Devine.
I just want to remind everybody that this is a result of the state room tax law change, which we fought unanimously years ago. So the most prudent thing we can do with the money that we're now forced to spend, and it's more than a logo, it's a brand, it's a messaging, it's bragging about the things that have happened in the city over the past 10 years, 8 years, 6 years, however far back you want to go. And we have a story to tell. And the most prudent thing we can do as city leaders is take that money that we were forced to spend on branding and marketing and hire a reputable professional to brand and market. They have done this in Oak Creek. Oak Creek is booming. They have done this in Waukesha. Waukesha is doing quite well. They're just kicking off the ground in South Milwaukee. I, to be honest, don't know much about South Milwaukee, other than they have a very good mayor. But the logo was a part of it, and even in the research that they did, a very small percentage of the people cared about what the logo was, but the brand is what's exciting. And I don't know how many people you've said don't like it, because I think only about 14 bodies have seen the logo, so you couldn't have gotten that many phone calls.
Well, it's conversations, phone calls, yeah.
I like it. I mean, is it perfect? No, but like Alderman Haas, Chairman Haas said, if we have the 10 of us design a logo, we're going to end up right back with that God awful sun sphere that
I was on that committee.
Well, I'm sorry.
Nobody else wanted to sit on it, by the way.
But there's people that like that logo too,
Yeah.
so.
If John Maddie wants to talk, I mean, when this passed, we started meeting with Savage on the implementation, and I mean, nothing's
Implemented
in
yet.
stone, but we're continuing. And if Mr. Chair, with your permission, I don't want to throw you on the spot here, but you know, we've been meeting with them since it passed.
But I'm throwing you on the
We've
spot.
got further discussions. This got delayed so much to start with, you know, the insurance and the contract and all these things. And like I said earlier, just having a great plan that's going to sit on a shelf is not going to help anybody. And we need to get moving on this. We need to go.
Yeah, I mean, the brand is, I have my notes here, is the emotion behind what someone feels, sees, and tastes when they think about the city of West Dallas. The logo is just a visual mark. The logo is subjective. I don't like the Adidas logo personally, but they're one of the most successful sports outfitters in the world. So, I mean, we're down the road, and it's frustrating when we can't disagree but commit. So.
And I know Alderman May, you said you don't like a flag. We don't have to do a flag. I don't really want a city flag.
Yeah, I wanted a flag.
Huh?
I wanted a flag.
I wanted a flag.
Everyone has a different opinion.
Yeah,
See?
Mr.
Alderman
Chair.
May.
Yeah, it's not that I don't want a flag. I just don't want that on a flag. I've stated my opinions in advisory. I don't want to relitigate them here. I want to let other people form an opinion, and I'll stick to that. I think the biggest lesson I think coming out of this is, you know, that night I think myself and Alderperson Reinke had some objections to it, and we stated them, but no one else really said anything. And afterwards, there were more than just a couple of elder people. I know there were other people in that room the night of the presentation or from the tourist board who have said, you know, they're just not thrilled by it. I agree with the marketing plan. I think it's very smart. I don't care for the logo, but you know, I'm going to go with the rest of the council on it. But
Gotta go to the committee first.
I'm not thrilled. But you know, once the council makes its decision, I'm going to go with it, and we're gonna move forward with it. Just don't put it on a flag. And one other thing I will say, well, I don't want to do that. Never mind. Never mind.
Alderman Weigel, do you
Nope,
have
I'm done.
All right, how do we want to proceed? Is there a motion?
Move to approve. Yeah.
Approve, reapprove item 10.
Yeah, resolution authorizing the mayor to partner with Savage Solutions to implement and execute our logo, brand, and marketing strategy.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second? The chair will second. And any further discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
I still want a flag, just not that on the flag. I just want to make clear. I don't know who else wants a flag. I think it's good to have a banner to rally behind. I just don't think that's the right thing.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Yeah, so Mickey, you're voting no.
No, it's aye. I
Oh,
voted
you're
aye too.
voting- okay.
I
Thank you, Mickey.
It passed anonymously.
I said that,
Yeah.
I said from the time, let's see what people want, because that's,
We need to put on the reconsideration first.
Oh.
I think that's what's agenda list.
So, yeah, tell me that more so I have it straight. First, we gotta vote on the motion
So
to
you're not-
reconsider.
No.
No, you don't want to reconsider it.
No, we don't want to reconsider.
So
That
it
was
would
my
be-
motion. I'm sorry. Did I meant
then
to say
approve.
I moved that we
I
don't
thought it was
reconsider.
approved.
Yeah, all right.
And approved.
So
It remains approved, yeah.
It remains approved.
let's take a step back then and formally vote on that. Can I have a motion to deny the reconsideration?
Mr. Chair.
Sure.
No, we did reconsider
That's
it.
not true. So the reconsideration occurs on the council floor to reconsider the original vote we took on the council floor. Then there was a motion to send it back to committee. So it's on our it's up to us to decide what we want to do with it. We don't have to reconsider it here. It was already reconsidered at
Already
council.
was reconsidered. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And so we decided what to do,
Correct.
that we want
Yes.
to approve it. So do we need to take further action in the committee?
Move to adjourn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the floor, we'll report out that it was approved in the committee.
Yeah.
And
Where's Alderman Lysak when you need him?
No,
yeah.
That's right.
Do we report it out on the floor in the committee?
As approved.
As approved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
I would
as
say,
if the past never happened.
Is it the past never happened? Yeah. All right. Thank
Cheryl's
you.
saying yes.
Cheryl, thank you, Cheryl. Full-time city attorney. Thank you. All right. We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thanks, everyone. We're adjourned.